Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me. Let's do another round of a general all signs tarot reading and see what kind of message of encouragement we can receive today. That's how I tend to interpret the messages. Sometimes we get into the nitty gritty, but if we get down there, I'm always going to lift you right on back up, fam. I prefer words of encouragement than anything else because sometimes that's just simply what we need to be reminded of how incredible, how powerful we ourselves really are. So let's get into it. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead. I've already pre-shuffled. Well, now I just want to know what they are. The King and the Starborn. Interesting. Let's go ahead and shuffle or cut the deck. I've already shuffled. Whew, see, discombobulated. I'm all over the place. Everything's all over the place. Let's ride it. The Temple. Okay. Huh. I don't know if I've ever received this card. This might be one of the few that I've never seen since getting this deck. Has to have happened at least once by now, right, fam? I don't know. To the book. The Sanctuary. The Shrine. The altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. Goodness, fam, my goodness. Though indeed the temple travels with you, this card is interwoven with the pilgrim archetype, which we did see recently. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book your tickets. Well, thanks, Kim. The ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple, every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials. Don't spend any money, only time. This is speaking to me as ones who are trying to figure that out, right? This point in life has, for so many of us, been kind of like, okay, well, you thought you knew, but now you're really going to find out, right? We thought we knew what was driving us, what life we wanted to live, the things we wanted to surround ourselves with, the people, right? We thought we wanted all these different things, and bit by bit, it's like we've been getting to the root of things and figuring out, oh, no, that wasn't me. That was what, commercials I saw as a kid or the shows that I watched. I've been watching a lot of old shows when I've watched TV, and it keeps like really making it so obvious to me of how certain generations were raised by the TVs. Right? And so where's that middle ground? Where is that true gray of being able to sit on the fence about it, right? Because it doesn't really feel like there are that many more fences left in the yard, right? Makes sense to me, at least. Okay, what's the oracle? This is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. Endings are inevitable. This one keeps coming up, here and there, a little bit everywhere. As humans, we tend to see things in black and white. forgetting to account for all the gray in between. Well then, there's someone in your life who's begun to fade away, or maybe they're all together or gone altogether now. Don't fight it. Real relationships are not the same as the fairy tales we know and love. There are no neat and tidy bows to tie things up at the end, leaving you satisfied. Acceptance isn't easy, but the thing you need to work toward. We create our own closure. I feel like for some, there's been wanting to say that thing, to do that particular whatever that may help with an ending, when they don't need to hear you say goodbye. They don't need to hear you say the words for you to have your closure, for you to be able to move on, right? More than likely, they already have. All too often it can feel as though all these people who have meant so much to us in our lives, they've already moved on, right? Especially when you're dealing with depression and you're not really as social as you used to be. Like, there can be that element of sadness and the like, wow, okay. But in reality, everyone's always moving on. Life is always moving on. It's supposed to. That's all. It's supposed to. And we're supposed to as well. So I feel like for some, you're forgetting that part of the awe of life, or overlooking part of the awe in life and being able to live and feel and enjoy and experience is that our bodies, us ourselves, we are really the temple. Therefore, the sacred is going with us wherever we are, even when we're in the dark and we're having ourselves a moment. We're still sacred. There's still a light within us. There's still endings with beginnings coming right on up, right? It can be sadness of being in the behind, wherever that is, right? Like when someone passes away. It sucks to be left behind. You're left with this hole, right? That no one could ever fill. But there are those out there who don't even realize that someone feels a hole at the loss of you. And you have no idea. Right? Endings are inevitable, and they can be different for all of us. They can look different. They can be friendships, lovers, whatever. Loss. But with an ending always comes a beginning. And the question is, are you allowing that? We're just going to take a moment to be amused at how I was talking about that thread of gray. And then the gray card appeared, because that's funny. All right, moving on to the clarification found. Hey, got that voice back. There we go. Listen, this is YouTube, and we're going to lighten the mood up a wee bit, okay? I like to be silly. It's okay. Living my life. So these cards, I like to think of tarot as a story in and of itself. Sometimes this is merely the prologue, right? And then we have chapters to enjoy. So what's chapter 1? 6 of Cups. They're either those surrounded by kids, or there are those healing that inner child. And that's another vibe that's been going on lately. Really figuring out what that means for some of us, to heal your inner child, to heal those wounds that have been there for so long, getting down into the root cause of things, right? And with this card speaks of a freedom, a very childlike freedom. To not be so worried about the things that you've been stressed about. It's not like you're just letting it go. Fuck it, fuck the world, fuck what may. You're like, nah. It's all about perspective, right? And realizing that it may not be quite what you've been thinking it was for so long. And finding... My neighborhood is so awake right now and just doing things and chit-chatting and stuff. So don't mind if you can hear any outside noise. This speaks to me of a childlike freedom that's going on. And if you're not feeling that, then maybe you should. Maybe that's what you need to be feeling right about now. Like, gripping things so hard that your knuckles are white is just not necessary. That's how you keep yourself bound, fam. And there's a guard in this picture over here off to the side. There's a plane, loud-ass plane. This card is speaking to me of freedom. The cups are full of life. Plants, flowers. That freedom to enjoy life again, to have that imagination running wild. What's the next card? Dang. From the Six of Cups to the Ace of Cups. So, maybe there's someone that you haven't seen since your childhood and your paths have crossed again and it's like, wow. Or maybe now that you're able to allow yourself to live like this, all of these wants, these needs, these desires, all of these manifestations that you've been so focused on are now able to come through. Now that you're able to accept come what may, because you're not so scared of it anymore. You've been through a lot, and that shit's in the past, and it can stay back there. That's where it belongs, okay? We're still alive. We're living. And every loss, every person that we meet and we've known, they become their own type of a part of us, right? Things that we learned from them, whether they thought they were simple words or not. This is almost feeling like a peace offering of sorts, but from the universe, to me anyway. What's next? There are those who have been putting in the hard work, who've been doing the affirmations, doing the, completely retraining our subconscious and doing all this work, whatever it may be, whether it's art or business or whatever. And you may be feeling like, okay, anytime now, things are going to work out in incredible ways. Fam, 6 and 7. The numbers are still numbering. But it's okay to take a breather. I feel like you're being told to remember, we're all being told, quite frankly, how to chill. This is the Virgo and Chill channel, fam. What else would you expect, right? If you need to take a breath, take a breath. But it's kind of like when I was quitting smoking, I had to remind myself that just because I'm having myself a moment and I just had a cigarette doesn't mean that I need to go and buy a new pack. Even though I may really want to, right? And eventually I wasn't smoking anymore. Kind of made it more difficult on myself than was necessary, but wound up doing a little bit of cold turkey, but I broke my vape. Anyway, moving on. I tried to do a switch and I just broke it, man. And whatever. So, it's a lot of hard work. It takes consistency and dedication and focus, but it's still you living your life. And you're meant to live, not wait. Live. It's kind of like baking, right? One of the main ingredients is love. Hello, come on now. What's next? The Queen. I almost said Knight, and then I almost said King. The Queen of Swords. One of the 3 tarot cards where the sword is going straight up. She is not fucking around, okay? Been there, done that, has been through so much, and is able to have some clarity in this now. She's very cognizant of her words because she knows that blade is double-edged. But she can hear others. She can accept others. She still wants the kingdom to thrive. And now she's absolutely clear on it. A lot of work and life has gone into becoming a queen. What's going to come up underneath the Six of Cups? Hey-oh, the star in all her glory. Hey, Daddy YouTube, you be nice. So, this can speak of hopes and dreams. And I'm finding it very interesting that that card's coming up underneath the Eight of Cups. Six of Cups. Hello, six. Discombobulated, fam. I'm all over the place. This is the first major arcana to drop. This could be someone who's putting themselves out there. You know, whether it's through social media or even YouTube, TikTok. Maybe you just got your first acting gig. It's someone who's intentionally putting themselves out there. And either way, it's hopes and dreams and everything finally being able to flow as it should. No blockages, no obstacles. There are no obstacles. Challenges are simply another moment to learn more, to grow more. It's not meant to take you down a peg. There are no tests. When you learn, you live. You live it. You don't do that crap anymore, right? Be free to have your hopes and dreams, to have your wants and desires fulfilled. Remember how it feels to simply live without stressing yourself out, without living in survival mode. You know how to survive. You don't have to stay in the crash position. Stretch out. Be comfortable with that light on your skin. What's coming up underneath the Ace of Cups? The Five of Swords. There are always going to be those people. Someone who's talking shit. Someone who thinks they know when they have no idea. And all they're doing is spewing forth their ignorance for everyone to see. What are you worried about? Right? I tend to refer, goodness gracious, to the Five of Swords as the fuck around and find out card. But right now it's coming up underneath the Ace of Cups. So I'm really noticing his smile. This person, they're looking back. They are looking back. They're looking over their shoulder. But what if they're acknowledging how far they've come? What they had to let go of that may have not been very easy, right? In order to get here. He's holding, there's two swords and there's another sword down here, plus the two on the ground. That's a lot of swords for one person. Well, this person has figured some things out, which leads us to clarity, right? I think that you're having a lot of epiphanies. I think that now that you've been opening up, you're able to have these epiphanies, right? They used to be one of my favorite things about shrooms, all the epiphanies that one could have once you got the rabble out of the way. And then my body decided, no, don't do that anymore. And I was like, okay, fine. But that was one of my favorite things, all the epiphanies. Just being able to vibe out and enjoy yourself and have some epiphanies. You never needed those shrooms anyway. I'm not a dictator. No worries. But it's kind of like those wings. You didn't need those wings to fly. You've been the temple the whole time, right? What's coming up underneath the Seven of Pentacles? The World. My goodness gracious today. I don't even know what you can see. Your angle and my angle are two different things. We'll just cover her whole body. Fam, if you just hold on a bit longer, if you just keep working, keep at it, maybe you've been unable to see the magic that is going on all around you. But this reading, to me, of course, it's my reading, my channel. Hi, my name is Amy. If you're new here, nice to meet you. This is such encouragement. This is reminding you yet again of how far you've come, how much you've grown, how much you've learned. So go ahead, take a breath if you need to, but the world is waiting for you. And this is also the dancer of the tarot. And this wreath is speaking of victory. Just a little bit further. Those almost look ripe AF, if you ask me. Right? Looking pretty good. Enjoy that fact. Enjoy knowing how much you know, how capable you are, how resilient you are. Wow. So if we were talking about time frame, the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight of the tarot. He's coming in within an hour, a day, like that kind of quickness. There's something you put out there that you've been waiting on. And my question to you is, are you waiting or are you living? Because even if you know that things are coming, you know what you've put out there, the seeds that you have really planted. I mean, you know, in your life, generally speaking. Right? Because the pentacles aren't just money, they're everything. And that includes money. Right? What's the epilogue of the story is judgment, fam? Are you kidding me right now? Wow. Okay then. So so karma, fate is a knock-in. Every time I see this card, what do, fam? Boop-a-doo-doo-doo, boop-a-doo. My Final Fantasy players at. That's the tune that plays when the battle is done and you freaking won. Boosh. There you go, fam. Whatever, there's something that is just practically being handed to you. It's coming in hot and you are now, and you gotta remember these messages and stuff, it could be something small, something seemingly simple, but it means so much. You know what I mean? Things are big, things are small, things are important, things are unimportant, it's everything. What's that? It's everything. It's creative. And we have a lot of cups and a lot of swords. With some pentacle action in there. And very freaking particular major arcana. Your world is changing. Your life has been changing. And every notch, every step, it's able to continue changing. So the main message right now is please don't give up. Please don't give up. The sacred is with you every step of the way, everywhere you go, because you are sacred. You yourself are just as important as, most of the, we may not be all that, you're the MVP in your life. You are the most valued. And you are extremely wise and cognizant. Right? She's looking to the future, and this Knight of Swords is just swooping right on in to the present. Reminding you that this ending is inevitable. This ending is meant to happen. These things are meant to happen. And it's all in how we handle it ourselves. Are we handling it with grace? I don't feel like it if I'm fumbling all over the place. I don't know about you. It doesn't feel very graceful, and I dance. So what the heck? Like, what the heck? Can I walk through the door instead of shoulder checking myself on the door frame just once today? Right? What are the extra notes in this incredible reading? Oh, I see. Cancer. I've been considering doing very specific astrological tarot readings. Hello. I don't know. Cancer, I have quite a few cousins that are Cancers. Those water signs feel things so very deeply. And that may be the struggle that's going on, is now that we're down into the roots and the nitty-gritty, this is deep, right? And it can be really difficult to break those habits, to let go, right? If someone's passed on, they're never really gone. The relationship is just able to change. Whether they've moved away, passed away, you just don't talk quite as much. Just means the relationship has evolved. And that doesn't have to be a negative. It doesn't have to be a negative. Oh, but for some, there are those where do not speak to those who refuse to listen. If you keep trying to see, that was the one of those original points. They don't have to hear you say goodbye. They don't have to hear your apology, right? If there's such a brick wall, if they have their own thing going on, fine, that's their path. They don't have to be a part of it. This closure. They've already chosen their own form, and now you get to choose yours. Oxygen is too precious. Your energy is too precious to be wasted on people who are brick walls, right? There's no need to be cruel, but there's also no need to waste your energy. So if you feel like you've been wasting energy on something, please stop, right? Aw, bam, it's okay. It's okay. We have the future coming in hot. If you're a little concerned about karma, this isn't the Justice card. This is Judgment. Boom, done. And it's time to be resurrected. It's time to live again. That's all this message has done, is round it right on back up to remind you it's not linear. That's been something I've been saying, right? It's not linear. It's cyclical. It's all over the dang place. Right? Aw, fam, you've got this. You're the temple. You're the sacred, okay? And you're going to dance all over the world if you want to. Whatever that looks like for you. Thank you so much for joining me in this tarot reading today. I really appreciate the company. And always remember that I love you.